Muhammad, Muhammad Ali. He'd float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Muhammad, the black Superman, singing Ali. Just catch me if you can. Ow! Oh my God. You know, y'all, with a heavy heart, but with great peace, I say goodbye to the GOAT, the greatest of all times, the greatest humanitarian of all times, to the most beloved athlete of our time, bar none. Forget about LeBron James, forget about Michael Jordan, bar none. The man who made it proud and okay to be black. The man who stood up against the United States government and won. The true people's champ. My brother. The second man I fell in love with besides my father. Rest in peace. In power. Muhammad Ali. As y'all know, Muhammad Ali was born January 17th, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky. He was the son of Odessa Lee Grady, who married Cassius Marcellus Clay Sr., and he was the first son. Ali started boxing on a whim. I think when he was about 11 or 12, somebody stole his bike. And he went down to, he went looking. Well, he knew who stole his bike. It was some white boys that him and Rudy had been throwing rocks at earlier. There was a feud going on from one side of the track to the other. And anyway, one of the boys, Kane, I believe it was, took Ali's bike, and they stole his bike and stumped the spokes out. So he went to tell this police officer that he was going to whoop their ass who stole his bike. And Ali, weighing 89 pounds, was instructed, well, hey, you better learn how to fight first. Eventually, all the boys ended up boxing at this Joe Martin's gym. In fact, I think that one of the young men, Kane, ended up being a 4-time Golden Glove champion. But none of them went to the heights of Muhammad Ali. I love Muhammad Ali more than life itself. And not only for the things that he did inside the ring. Not only when he left, I'm going to tell y'all, the game of boxing died. Most of y'all, a lot of y'all watching Muhammad Ali from film, and y'all can see just how charismatic he was, just how crazy he was. But those of us who were part of the Nation of Islam at that time, boy, was it a wonderful time to be a part of the nation, a part of Black Pride, a part of somebody representing people that didn't have anybody to speak for them. I think first and foremost, that's what Muhammad Ali did for every little ghetto child in America. We know that he went on to be a humanitarian, and as life would have it, an ambassador for the whole world. But he was never ashamed of his people. And the sacrifices that he made, he was in jail for 2 years and 6 months. Because he, unlike a lot of athletes today, decided you can take your fucking belt. Because if what I gotta do is denounce my religion and denounce God and go over there and fight some Vietnamese who never called me a nigga, I'd rather you can take all this shit back. That's a man. And there haven't been any men sitting up there. I ain't trying to be funny since Muhammad gone. since he left. And when he left, the game died. Didn't it die? For those of y'all who remember the fights, those of y'all who remember Muhammad Ali, the Thriller in Manila, the fight of the century, y'all know it'll never be another one like him. He was truly the greatest of all time. And not just for what he did inside the ring, more for what he represented outside. My father left the Nation of Islam around the same time Malcolm X did. And there was a rift, I know, in our lives, and there was some changes in our lives after that period. And no matter how dark, we still love Muhammad. Muhammad ventured back to the nation not so long ago, within the last maybe 10 years. It wasn't that long ago. Just to let everybody know that he remembered where it all started for him. The feeling, the pride about himself. Because once you are introduced to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, you just can't be the same. Whether you are a man or whether you are a woman. You'll never be the same. And if you walk into your authority, and don't be afraid to go with God's plan. Because from God we come, and from God we will return. And if we don't be afraid to walk in the plan that God has set forth for our lives, then we can leave this earth knowing that well done, good and faithful servant. And if I could just reflect on Muhammad, he made everybody feel special, and he lived his life to the fullest. He lived his life to the fullest. He took advantage of every opportunity that was afforded to him. And not many of us can say that we have done that. I know I can. But when I think about Muhammad Ali, I think of the greatest athlete of all time. I think Muhammad Ali set the standard, but not only athletes, he set the standard, in my opinion, for men. Speaking up and being men. And that does not make him a perfect man, because he was far from it. I'm sure if you ask Sonia, she's going on, Kalila, Belinda, Veronica, wow, there have been many. Because Muhammad Ali was just loved by so many. And I want to say to May, Jamila, Rashida, Muhammad Eben, Hannah, Layla, and the rest of y'all, all 9 of you. You know, Allah is waiting on Muhammad to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And for that, you can be proud. I know that it's been difficult in y'all lives too, because how do you live up to that? How do you follow that? Muhammad Ali's daughters. How do you find somebody that represents manhood the way your father represented manhood to the whole world? I know. But to whom much is given, much is required. And I want to say thank you, Muhammad. Thank you for making my life better, my family's life better. Thank you for giving me something to aspire to. Thank you for Black Pride. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your realness. Thank you for not being ashamed to be black. Thank you for standing up for truth. Thank you for telling the truth. When many would have just cowered away and stuck their tail between their legs and said, you think I'm finna lose my money for this? Thank you, Muhammad, for being a man. Rest in power, my dear brother. Rest in power.